Welcome to ISE's FX Options Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on the US dollar versus the major currencies, hosted by Jason Ayres, a top industry instructor and founder of OptionSource.net. Learn to trade your views on the strength or weakness of the US dollar.
And welcome to the ISE FX Options Weekly Outlook for April 13th, 2009. I'm your host, Jason Ayres, founder and president of OptionSource.net. As always, we're going to start with a look at our weekly U.S. dollar index. Now, the U.S. dollar held its ground against most major currencies last week. That 84.85 focal zone remains an important support level for the index. A break below will likely start a second leg lower, which will open the window for a test all the way down to that 80.81 range. Further consolidation above 85 lends credibility to a push up into that 88-89 box. A break above 86 is likely to signal that move. Now, a quick look at our daily snapshot illustrates the important role that the 86.5 level is playing in terms of a near-term upside resistance. With that in mind, let's take a look at the first of our ISE FX options pair values, the CDD, the US versus the Canadian dollar. We can see that the CDD made an attempt to breach that 124 resistance level before settling back down at that 122.5 focal zone. Now, this level remains an important area to hold for the US dollar bulls. However, a bounce here is still going to meet with heavy resistance at that 124.5 focal zone. Failure to hold at 122 opens the window for a test as low as 118. Next up, the YUK, the US versus the Japanese yen. Now, we suggested that a break above 99 was likely to test an important resistance level within the 101-102 focal zone. And with that move complete, the window is now open for some downside backfilling, the start of which is likely going to be signaled by a break and a close below 100. A move through this 98-99 focal zone is likely going to look for support within the 95-96 range. We find the EUI, the US versus the Euro, testing an important resistance level at the 76 to 76.5 focal zone. Now, if this second attempt fails to break this level, the window is open for a move back down into that 73.5, 74 area, confirmation of which will be a break and a close below 75. Now, that being said, a break above 76.5 will lend credibility to a push up into this 77.5, 78 target to the upside. Well, the US dollar made a moderate attempt to move higher against the pound, as seen here in the ISE FX options pair value BPX. That 68 to 68.5 area remains an important resistance level, and a test back down into that 66 to 66.5 area is likely. Now, with momentum slowing in this current downtrend, a break above 68.5 will have us targeting the 70 to 70.5 focal zone as that next upside resistance. Well, the AUX, the US versus the Australian dollar, is looking for support within that 139 to 140 focal zone. Now, after several attempts at finding support here, a break below is likely to yield a test down into that 136, 137 focal zone, which is a very, very significant support level in the bigger picture. A bounce here is likely going to still meet with some resistance within that 142, 143 range. So any suggestion that this may make an attempt to move higher must be confirmed by a break outside that 143 range. Let's review our key points. First of all, the US dollar held its ground at 84 and is now testing a key resistance. A break above 86 will support the probability of a move up into our 88-89 focal zone. The CDD is once again retesting the 122 support. We must see the US dollar hold here if we are to anticipate any further continuation of the US dollar strengthening against the Canadian dollar. A break below 122 opens the window for a drop as low as 118. The YUK hit our 101-102 resistance level and rejected. A break below 100 opens the window for a test down into our lower focal zones. The EUI held at 74 and bounced into a key resistance. Break above 76 supports a move into that upside target of 78. A break below 75 will likely open the window for a continuation to the downside. The BPX continues to show weakness, although downside momentum is slowing. A retest of 67 looks likely. And finally, the AUX also continues to show signs of weakness, although downside momentum is slowing. A test of our 136, 137 focal zone is likely. With this focal zone being a very important support level, a bounce here is a high probability. And this has been your ISE FX Options Weekly Outlook for April 13th, 2009. I'm Jason Ayres, founder and president of OptionsSource.net. Thanks very much for joining me this week. We'll see you here next week.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Jason Ayres and to sign up for free FX options trade alerts, just visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE FX options, including our weekly webinar series, visit us at www.ise.com/fx. ISE FX options can easily be traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.